Each week on this video, we'll give you Chris Liss's best bets against the spread, and watch until the end where he's going to give you his Moneyline Underdog play, where you can bet a little and win a lot. First game is Cincinnati Bengals. They're getting 3.5, and they're in Tennessee. Who do you like in this game and why?
Well, I was on the Bengals, and then self-hating Bengals fan Jeff Erickson talked me out of it. And, you know, for once he made some good arguments. He was saying how the Bengals are banged up on defense and how Henry's back. And, you know, and when the Titans have everybody back, Bud Dupree, A.J. Brown, Julio Jones, Henry, they're completely healthy and rested. He thinks it's just going to be one of those games where the rest of the team roughs them up. And since he has a lot of issues on the defensive line right now. And so I bought that and I laid the wood. But, you know, Burrow and Chase and Higgins, just give them a puncher's chance. You know, if they get down, they can always get back into it quickly. It's not like the Patriots getting down and they're toast, or the Steelers or whatever. So, but I still laid the wood. So that's not a strong one, but I'm taking the Titans.
I think that might have been a little self-loathing on Jeff's part, because I liked your point that which team has the better quarterback, and he's got the DJAF sort of thing going on for him, Burrow, and I think that gives them more than a puncher's chance. I would. But
Tannehill's good though. Tannehill's no slouch. I mean, when he's got his players back, he's actually also good. And Tennessee's just like probably better defensively, about equal. Maybe Tennessee's a little better, and then just the power running game and home field and the rest. I don't know. I can see I mean, I'm not strong on this, so I'm not going to like go to the map for it.
NFC 1 seed Green Bay is going to have their home game. That line is up to 6. San Francisco, big win last week, coming into Green Bay. Who do you like here and why?
I like the Niners a little bit, but again, this is a very coin flippy type of thing. Green Bay is so efficient. They're so smooth at home. Weather could be an issue. And Jimmy G's got a bad shoulder now with his bad hand, and he just cannot throw the soul-crushing interception like he did last week. They survived it. It was Dallas. They won't survive it in Green Bay. But their offensive line is very good. If Bosa can unconcuss himself, which I think he will miraculously do for a playoff game because you have to, I think that they're stout enough to go toe-to-toe and make it a close game. So I took the points.
The early game on Sunday is the Rams. That line is 3, but there's a little juice laying on it there. So the Rams are getting 3 in Tampa Bay.
I like the Rams in Tampa Bay getting 3. The reason is that Tampa is just too banged up. Like, they lost Godwin. They cut Antonio Brown, who they could probably use right now. And, you know, they've got Gronk, they've got Mike Evans, but those other receivers are a bunch of nobodies that Brady's trying to get up to speed. And then they lose Tristan Wirfs, their stud right tackle, who may play, but even Stefani was a little dubious. And you've got Von Miller now, who sacked Kyler Murray on Monday night. And you obviously have Aaron Donald. And it's just a bad situation for a non-mobile QB to be dealing with a pass rush with a compromised offensive line, and then not even having all his weapons. And even Fournette, you know, who knows about him? And that's like another dump-off weapon. So I think you're going to see a lot of throws to Giovanni Bernard and Keyshawn Vaughn, and that's going to be hard for them to keep up if, you know, the Rams are able to make big plays. Now, Tampa's defense is good, so it's not a guarantee that Stafford won't make some mistakes himself, and I would take Brady over Stafford. But I think just on balance, the Rams are catching a banged-up Tampa team, so I'm taking the points.
I like your analysis. I agree with your analysis, but I always feel like an idiot betting against Tom Brady in the playoffs. It never feels good to put that money down when he has the ball at the end of the half and is driving to swing the game. So
that's hasn't covered a lot of the Super Bowls. They didn't cover against the Panthers. They didn't cover against the Eagles twice. They didn't cover against the Giants twice. So
that's a great point.
You know, great point. Obviously they got there. They won those games, and remember, you know, the Patriots with Brady and Belichick covered 58% of the time for 20 years. I'd like to see the Bucs record. They're probably positive on that front, but yeah, you know, all the Rams have to do is cover. Now it's a 3-point spread, so you know it's hard to. But if they lose 20-19 or 24-23, they still cover.
The quasi Super Bowl is the featured game of the week. Buffalo Bills opened up at 2.5-point dog going into Kansas City. That line is now flattened out at 2. I wouldn't be surprised if that line gets all the way to pick 'em and then back and forth. Who do you like in this game? And also, where do you predict the closing line will be?
I'll say 1.5, 2, where it's at pretty much. So there's a couple of things going on. You know, Buffalo is a good team. They Josh Allen looks like, he's peaking right now. The defense doesn't have Tre'Davious White, but it's still been very solid all year. But Kansas City, to me, is the pick. The Rams are my best bet. The KC would be a close second. Most people think, because Buffalo beat them in the regular season, and KC, would they beat a crappy Steelers team? It's not that impressive. Buffalo completely destroyed the Patriots and Bill Belichick. It's just kind of a better story right now. But the Chiefs' defense is better, I think, than it has been at any time in the Chiefs dynasty in the last 4 years. And then last week, we finally saw the offense do what it had been doing. Deep balls to Tyreek Hill, downfield throws to Travis Kelce, opening this offense up. It had been this dink and dunk, and the Chiefs went on a big winning streak because of their defense. But now their defense is still good, and now they're opening it up, and it looks like it's working. And then also Jerick McKinnon, by the way, is way faster than CEH or Darrell Williams, and he made some plays, and that's something they may have discovered, a much faster option out of the backfield. So I like the Chiefs. They're at home. I think most of the hype is on the Bills right now, but what I saw from the Chiefs in that Pittsburgh game, I was like, wow, these are the Chiefs that I remember from 2 years ago.
You were talking about Jerick McKinnon on your SiriusXM show, and what was the knock on Jerick McKinnon? It wasn't that he couldn't play; it was that he couldn't stay healthy. And if he can stay healthy for 1 or 2 games,
just one game. Remember Damian Williams? Damian Williams 2 years ago. Damian Williams is fast. Okay, so it's fine if you have a Darrell Williams or a CEH nifty little receiver out of the backfield, but are they dangerous when they get the ball? Not really. But when you get a guy who has receiver speed and gets the ball in space, and then you add him to Tyreek Hill and Kelce, and have Mahomes back there scrambling, it's just one more thing to deal with.
Another point that you made on your SiriusXM show is that the scrubby receivers on Kansas City, they're actually good scrubs because of the amount of time they have integrated into that offense. That they're not your typical scrub receivers. They're actually good scrub receivers. And since you waited to the end, let's talk about your long shot money line bet, where we like to bet a little and win a lot.
If you get the Rams at like plus 130 or something, it's not long odds, but it's better than even. And I think I would pick them straight up. I just think the Bucs, I think it's going to catch up to them. The fact that they're possibly missing or having a compromised Wirfs, their best offensive lineman, Godwin, who was arguably their best receiver, Antonio Brown, who's obviously a key weapon, who got lots of targets. I think it's just going to add up. Even Fournette is banged up, Ronald Jones. I think it's just a good spot to take the Rams.
To read Chris Liss's Beating the Book article, which you can see every week on RotoWire.com, you can click the link in the video description below. And to get all of RotoWire's premium content for 10 days free, including our fantasy baseball draft kit, which is posted now, go to RotoWire.com/try.